Hello and welcome to another episode of Madam Suzanne. I'm your host, Freddie Shaban. Today I want to talk to you about something very, very important. And I've been asked over and over again about this particular subject. And I want to have a heart-to-heart talk with you today. If I know you in the real world and we're having this conversation, you ask me, hey, listen, I've been thinking about becoming an escort. What can you tell me? For the ones that don't know me, I was an escort agent for over 30 years, which 20 of them were online. And everything I'm going to tell you and discuss and share with you in this video is only facts that happened in my experience, in my lifetime as an escort agent and as an escort myself and working with over 10,000 escorts and I would say about 1 million clients. Okay? So everything I'm sharing with you is from experience, and I'm not going to give you my opinion or what you should and shouldn't do. I'm just simply going to give you the facts. And as you know, nobody can tell anybody what to do or how to do it. It is up to you to decide for yourself whether escorting is for you or not. Now, I got to tell you, I've had experiences where some of the escorts thought, when they started working with me, thought that this is something they wanted to do, and turned out that as much as they wanted to do it, it wasn't for them. Whether it's mentally, emotionally, psychologically, sometimes physically. So I have to tell you, first and foremost, this is not for everybody. There is certain character traits that makes for a good escort or someone that should consider becoming an escort if they have those character traits, because it takes a certain kind of person to be in this field. This is not like going and becoming a mechanic or a computer operator or a nurse or you fill in the blank. This is a very complex job, and it's not as simple as it looks. Once again, I am not trying to convince you to do it, or I'm not trying to tell you not to do it. I'm just giving you the facts. And as a legal disclaimer from me, I am not condoning anything illegal in the United States or anywhere else around the globe. No illegal activities, whether it's prostitution, pimping, pandering, solicitation, any of this stuff. This is simply a video for information use only. I'm basically sharing my experiences with you. Okay, let's get started. You're thinking about becoming an escort. You're thinking about the money you could make. You're thinking about the gifts, the lifestyle, the travel. You may even be thinking about the sex. You might be saying to yourself, you know what? I love sex. I'm doing it for free. Why shouldn't I get paid for it? Those are all valid points. Now, let me give you the reality of becoming an escort. If you haven't read any of my books, Madam Suzanne or How I Made $1 Million a Year as an Upscale Escort, briefly, let me tell you that there's a lot of things to consider if I was trying to become an escort for the first time. Do I want to be an independent? Do I want to work with somebody? Can I find somebody that I can trust? There's so many variables. It's like everything else in life. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. There is escorts that make $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, unlimited amount of dollars every year. And there's some escorts can barely make a living and barely pay their bills. And what's the difference? You have two people. They look similar. They're both beautiful, nice bodies. But one of them is making a ton of money and the other one isn't. It's because how they're doing it. Like everything else in life. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. the number one thing that comes to mind that makes this a little bit more challenging than any other job, and every job has its challenges, for sure. But especially in this job, because there isn't that many jobs, unless you're going into adult films, being a porn star or whatever, that you have to be intimate with your clients on this level. A massage therapist could be intimate as far as touching the clients and giving them a massage, but that's therapeutic. I'm not saying that escorting is not therapeutic. Many clients would argue that it is. And I agree, in some cases it is. Okay, whether it's mental, emotional, and psychological, and then physical, of course. But what makes this job challenging, and the first thing that I would think about if I was thinking about becoming an escort is, number one, do I love men? If you are going to cater to men, or do I love women if I want to cater to women like I did when I was an escort for a little bit, or somebody that's lesbian or gay, if they want to cater to their own sex, or if they're transgender, if they want to cater to both sexes or one or the other, whatever their sexual preferences is, that's your preference. Question is, are you able to become intimate with numerous people on a daily basis, or however many days you're deciding to work? So that's the first question. I have met nymphos that love sex and have it all the time and they can't stop. They started working thinking that they could do this job, and they found out that they couldn't. So just because somebody loves sex, it doesn't mean that they love sex with multiple people every day, on a daily basis, or 3 days a week, or 5 days a week, or whatever it is. So that's something to consider. The most important point in this is that the lifestyle that it takes to become an escort is completely different than any other lifestyle you know as we speak. It changes the dynamic of your life, your personal relationships, your friendships, your family relations, everything we're talking about here. It is very important, in my humble opinion and with my experience, that no one gets to know that you're doing this kind of work. I've said it over and over again in all my videos, all my books. There's certain commandments that I go by, and if you haven't watched the 13 commandments video, please do so. And one of them is, do not tell a soul about what you're doing. Your life will get complicated quick. You'll be shunned, you'll be cut off, you'll be judged 1,000%. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care if somebody, the closest person to you, the understanding, whatever. The minute a person gets upset, they're going to run around and tell everybody. And nowadays with social media, good luck. The news will be out in 5 seconds. And now 20,000 people know about it. So that's a very important factor to consider if you're thinking about becoming an escort. I've been speaking and doing interviews with people that work in countries that is legal or decriminalized, countries like Australia and some parts of Canada. And guess what? Surprise, surprise. And I was just as shocked as you're going to be right now. Just because it's legal and just because it's non-criminal in those countries, guess what? They still get judged. They still get looked upon as the lowest level of the society, and they're not accepted. So just because it's legal, it doesn't mean it's accepted. So that's another thing to consider. Can you handle that kind of mental, emotional, psychological rejection, if you will? It could be and could get lonely quick. And some escorts, they have escorts, other escorts as friends and acquaintances, which is fine. But there's a lot of jealousy in this business, and you can only, get so close, and you just gotta keep people at bay and at arm's length, because you never know what their intentions are, and it could affect your business at some point. So one has to be extremely careful about who you let into that circle of trust when you become an escort, if you decide to become an escort. That's another challenge. Another big challenge is if personal relationships are important to you, as in boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, husband, wife. Let me just give you the short answer. It will not work. You could tell me anything you want. I'm telling you, after 30 years, it's not going to work. Somebody could be the coolest person you know. They're so cool about it. If somebody loves you and you love someone else, if you both love each other, one of you being in this business puts a dramatic and hard pressure, undue pressure on the relationship. And you can also watch the videos that I have about relationships and why is it difficult to be in a relationship with an escort, or why is it difficult to be in a relationship with a boyfriend as an escort or a girlfriend or whatever, on both ends. And I explain all of it. So if someone asks me, what should I do about that? I would say for that point, and I used to tell all my escorts when I hired them, if you're in a relationship of any sort, I cannot hire you because I know what's going to happen. Wait. My advice to them was always wait till you're done with this job, with this career, get your money. For whatever reason you got into it, which 99.99% is the money, get your money and get out. And then and only then is when you can get into a relationship and have your kids or whatever you want to do, whatever your goals are. Until then, it's like oil and water. They do not mix. That's only my humble opinion and from my experiences. And I could tell you many stories, but for this particular video, I'm going to stick to the subject. And I'm going to give you the bullet points or outline of the reality of the escort life. There's also some psychological residual effects from this job. Okay? We are human beings. We're not machines. We're going to get affected. Some of it get affected emotionally. They have a hard time being in a serious relationship or loving relationship after being in this business. Some of them get psychological damage from it, where they have trust issues. They can't trust anyone because they see all the clients, and most of them are cheating on their significant other. So that plays a significant part of the values and our own perception of whether it's marriage or relationships or whatever, and monogamy and trust and loyalty. So that's another after effect of this job. And God forbid someone gets into this line of work and does not properly screen their clients. Now we're talking about severe damage, psychological, emotional, mental, physical, and otherwise, if the wrong client gets through the screening process or lack thereof, and somebody ends up getting robbed, raped, God forbid, and it's happened. And sometimes it does not end well. It goes beyond death to death. Again, I'm not going to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just giving you the facts. So that conclusion is, in that point, screening is extremely important. And of course, I have videos about that. Okay. But for this particular video, I'm just giving you a reality check of escort life. Now, The money depends on what you look like. The more pretty you are with a better body, the easier it is to get clients, and the more money you're going to make, and the more money you can demand. If you have credits, of course, you're going to demand more money. If you've been on Playboy, Penthouse, Hustler, any other modeling gigs, whatever your credits are as far as your resume or your portfolio, you can demand more money. So the money could be there if it's done right and you know what you're doing. Depends on where you escort, your location, whether it's legal or not. That's another thing that one has to consider when thinking about becoming an escort. Of course, sitting in this chair today, after my experience with law and what happened with me a few years ago, I personally would not do it if it's illegal, because it is not worth it. The risk versus reward for me, it is not worth it. Now, for someone else, it might be worth it to take that misdemeanor, depending on where they live, and make the 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a month or whatever they're making. So it's always a risk reward thing. So that's an individual thing that someone must decide. But if you've never done anything illegal, let me warn you, when you're doing something illegal, you're always looking over your shoulder. You're always paranoid. You're always wondering, who knows what? Is this person trying to get me? Even when you're not doing anything, you start wondering, because you know what you're doing. So that's another factor one must consider if they're thinking about becoming an escort. Very, very important. If you love to travel and you operate as Fly Me to You or do international travel, international companionship, yes, you will travel the world. You'll have a good time, especially if you know how to pick your clients. We've traveled extensively all over the world and made good money in the process. Look, like everything else in life, look at fire. You can get warm with it, you can cook with it, but it can also burn you. So nothing is perfect in the world, nothing. It's a matter of personal decision and what a person is willing to sacrifice for that type of money or that type of lifestyle or that type of travel, or getting on yachts and going to the best restaurants, getting to best places on earth, and all this stuff like you see in the movies. Yes, this is all true, but not for a lot of escorts. Very, very select few that can operate on that level and make that kind of money and have those kind of clients. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. If I was a young woman, beautiful, sexy body, love sex, love men, love to travel, love money, want to make a ton of it, I don't want to spend 30 years in a job that I hate, and I can do this and I know how to do it, for me it's a no-brainer. I will do it, knowing what I know. With what I know and the information I have in my brain and my experience, it's a no-brainer. And I'll definitely do it somewhere where it's not frowned upon and it's not pursued by law enforcement. I would probably do it in somewhere where it's legal, or if it's not completely legal, it's a gray area where they just leave you alone. And the difference is because I know what I'm doing, I've experienced it. Okay? But if I was just thinking about doing it and I don't know anything about it, so I'm putting myself in your shoes right now. Those are the things that I'm talking about to you today. Okay? But regardless of your decision, whatever it is, make sure you think about it, you process it, you digest it, you study it, you research it, You try to find out everything you can and use your own mind, mental visualization to visualize yourself in that situation under those circumstances, meeting different people every day, doing all these sexual things with all different people, and living a certain lifestyle where you cannot be very honest with everybody and not have close personal relationships. And see if you are the type of person that can handle that type of pressure and lifestyle. Because ultimately, you're the one who has to live your life, nobody else. Ultimately, it's your decision. But make sure, please, study everything, research everything, watch all my videos. Sorry, I have to do a shameless plug here, but it's true. I'm not doing this video for me to plug my channel, but watch all the videos. I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, humbly speaking, no ego, because I've been there, I've done it. Do your homework. Okay? This is not just, let me go to Walmart and am I going to buy this kind of spaghetti sauce or this kind of spaghetti sauce? No. This is a life-changing experience, a life-changing job, life-changing lifestyle. Do not take it lightly. Don't just say, oh, I'll just take a couple of pictures in the bathroom with my crap all over the place behind me, whatever, put my stuff on whatever website. And nowadays, that's another challenge. Okay? But we won't get into the advertising part of how to get clients. Not for this video. I've done videos about that. And I wish you the best of luck. If you have any more questions that I have not covered, please check out my videos and leave me a comment if you want me to make a video about something else that I did not cover. But trust me, I've covered almost every single subject you can have in this field. Study, research, and I hope you figure it out. I want you to stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. And just remember one thing. Money is not always the answer. I had millions and I thought I was going to be happy when I got to 8 figures. And guess what? I was miserable because I did not take care of myself. I did not take care of my relationships. I did not take care of my body, my emotional state, my mental state, my psychological state. Okay? You got to be able to balance your life. And that's all I'm going to say to you. Okay? I love you. Be careful. Stay safe. And I will talk to you soon.